Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, life seems to push back harder? Have you ever wondered why, despite your kindness, wisdom, and selflessness, you face opposition at every turn? If you have, then you are not alone. The world has a way of resisting those who are different, those who see beyond the surface, and those who carry something extraordinary within them. You are not merely an individual on a path of random experiences. You are a chosen one, set apart for something greater. But with this divine selection comes a weight that many would never dare to carry. To be chosen is not just an honor. It is a trial, a refining fire that burns away the unnecessary and shapes you into something unbreakable. The path of a chosen one is not smooth, nor is it free from suffering. In fact, suffering is the very proof of your divine purpose. You are not placed on this earth to blend in, to be ordinary, or to live without challenge. You are placed here to disrupt, to elevate, and to lead. But understand this: greatness does not come without resistance. A tree that is meant to grow tall must first endure the storms that shake its roots. A diamond does not emerge without pressure, and the chosen one does not reach their destiny without enduring the weight of their calling. You have likely felt the burden of being different, of seeing things others do not, of carrying emotions that others suppress, of understanding pain in ways that make you feel disconnected from the world around you. People may admire you from a distance, but they do not truly understand you. Some may even fear or resent you, sensing something in you that challenges their own limitations. This is not a coincidence. The world does not embrace those who carry light. It tests them, refines them, and at times tries to break them. But here is what you must understand: the struggle is not there to destroy you. It is there to prepare you. The weight you carry is not meant to crush you, but to forge you into something unstoppable. So if you have ever questioned why your journey seems harder than others, know this: it is because you are meant for more. And the moment you embrace this truth is the moment you stop asking, "Why me?" and start realizing, "Of course me." The burden of spiritual gifts. One of the greatest paradoxes of the chosen one's journey is that the very gifts that set them apart are also the reason for their struggles. To be chosen means to see, to feel, and to understand on a level that others cannot. Your mind does not operate like the majority. Your heart does not respond to the world in the same way. You possess an intuition so sharp that you can sense things before they happen. A sensitivity so deep that you absorb emotions from the people around you. And a wisdom so profound that others often find you intimidating or difficult to relate to. This is the burden of spiritual gifts: the ability to discern, to perceive, and to navigate the unseen forces of life is both a blessing and a challenge. You may have visions, dreams, or an inner knowing that guides you, yet these very insights can make you feel like an outsider. You see the hidden truths behind people's words, the energy behind their actions, the deeper meaning in situations that others dismiss as coincidence. You feel things before they manifest, and at times, you carry emotions that are not even your own. This depth of perception can be isolating. While others move through life unaware, you feel every shift, every change, every silent message that lingers beneath the surface. And because of this, you often struggle to connect with people in a conventional way. You recognize deception even when there is no proof. You feel the weight of the world in a way that others do not. You experience emotions with an intensity that few can understand. And this makes relationships difficult. People may label you as too sensitive, too intense, or too deep, not realizing that what they perceive as excess is actually a divine gift. The hardest part of carrying these gifts is that they are not easily explained. How do you tell someone that you just know something without logical proof? How do you explain that you sense danger before it arrives? How do you convince people that your intuition is not paranoia, but a finely tuned instrument that has been given to you for a reason? It is in these moments that the chosen one must learn to trust themselves even when the world doubts them. Yet despite the burden, these gifts are your greatest weapon. They are the tools that will guide you, protect you, and help you fulfill your purpose. The key is not to suppress them, but to master them. The key is not to seek validation from those who do not understand, but to trust the divine intelligence that placed these abilities within you. If you are struggling with the weight of your gifts, know this: your perception, your intuition, your depth, and your wisdom were given to you for a reason. Do not dim your light because the world finds it too bright. Do not silence your truth because others are uncomfortable. Your gifts are not a mistake. They are your calling. The chosen one as a pillar in their family and community. A chosen one is never placed randomly. They are positioned with precision, inserted into families, communities, and circumstances that require their presence. But here is the difficult truth. Being the pillar means bearing the heaviest weight. You may have been born into a family where dysfunction runs deep. You may have found yourself surrounded by people who refuse to grow, who resist change, who fear the very light that you carry. And yet, you remain. Not because it is easy, but because you were sent there to be the one who shifts the tide. Every family, every generation, every community has a pattern, a cycle that repeats itself. Some families are trapped in cycles of poverty, some in cycles of emotional dysfunction, some in cycles of ignorance and stagnation. And when a chosen one is born into such an environment, they are not there to continue the cycle. They are there to break it. But breaking generational cycles is not an easy task. It requires resilience, faith, and at times, standing alone. You may have noticed that you are different from your family, not just in personality, but in the way you think, the way you see the world, and the way you navigate life. While they cling to outdated ways, you seek growth. While they resist change, you are called to transformation. While they choose comfort, you are forced into discomfort for the sake of something greater. This is why many chosen ones feel like outsiders even in their own homes. But being the pillar comes at a cost. The ones you are sent to help may be the very ones who reject you. The ones you try to guide may be the ones who fight against you. This is not because they do not need you. It is because your presence forces them to confront the very things they wish to avoid. Your wisdom is a mirror, reflecting what they must change. Your energy disrupts their complacency. Your truth shatters their illusions. And for this, they may resist you, misunderstand you, or even turn against you. But understand this: the rejection is not personal. The resistance is not proof that you are in the wrong place. If anything, it is confirmation that you are exactly where you need to be. Your presence alone is a force of change, even when it does not seem like it. Even if they do not acknowledge it, your very existence shifts the trajectory of your family, your community, and the generations that will come after you. Stay strong in your purpose. Do not let rejection weaken you. You were sent to be the foundation, the light, the catalyst for something greater. And whether they see it now or not, your presence is making all the difference. The hidden opposition against the chosen ones. Have you ever noticed that the moment you start stepping into your true power, obstacles begin appearing out of nowhere? People you once trusted turn against you. Situations that seemed stable suddenly become chaotic. It feels as though an invisible force is working to keep you down. This is not a coincidence. It is the reality of being chosen. The world does not simply allow a person carrying divine light to move forward without resistance. Every step you take toward your higher purpose is met with opposition, not because you are weak, but because you are powerful. Chosen ones do not face opposition because they are failing. They face it because their very existence threatens the darkness that has controlled the world for far too long. There is an unspoken law in the universe. Those who are destined to shift reality, to awaken others, and to bring light into dark places will always be tested. The moment you begin to break free from the limitations placed upon you, the moment you start seeing beyond the illusions of the world, the resistance begins. You are no longer a part of the system, you are an anomaly within it, and that makes you a target. This opposition does not always come from where you expect. It is not just external forces, but often the people closest to you, family members who feel unsettled by your growth, friends who secretly resent your strength, co-workers who are threatened by your intelligence. Society itself is designed to suppress those who think differently, who refuse to conform, who challenge the norm. This is why chosen ones are often misunderstood, ridiculed, and rejected. You carry something within you that exposes what others would rather keep hidden. Your presence alone disrupts falsehoods. Your energy challenges stagnation. And for this, The world resists you. But here is the truth. The enemy does not fight those who are of no threat. It does not waste time attacking those who are already lost. If you are facing relentless struggles, it is because you are carrying something of immense value. You are here to change something, to shift something, to awaken something. And the forces that have kept humanity asleep for so long do not want that to happen. They will use whatever means necessary, fear, doubt, betrayal, to stop you from rising. The question is not whether you will face opposition. The question is whether you will let it stop you. If you ever wonder why life has been harder for you than for others, why it feels like you have to fight twice as hard just to stand in your truth, remember this: your struggle is the proof of your significance. No great warrior is given an easy battle. No great leader walks a smooth path. If you were truly insignificant, the world would leave you alone. But you are not. You are here for something greater. And that is why the opposition is so fierce. The path of suffering as confirmation of divine purpose. There is a misconception that suffering is a punishment, that struggle means something has gone wrong. But what if suffering is not a sign of failure, but a confirmation of purpose? What if the very things that seem to break you are actually shaping you for the destiny you were meant to fulfill? Chosen ones do not suffer because they are weak. They suffer because they are being prepared. They suffer because their souls are being refined. Their minds are being strengthened, and their spirits are being trained for a purpose far beyond what they can currently see. Look at every great spiritual leader, every historical figure who changed the world. None of them walked an easy path. They were ridiculed, rejected, and in many cases destroyed by the very people they were sent to help. Their suffering was not meaningless. It was an initiation, a process that transformed them into the vessels of change they were meant to be. You are no different. The pain you endure is not without purpose. Every hardship, every betrayal, every loss is carving you into the person you need to become. Suffering strips away illusion. It forces you to see who you truly are. It removes the distractions, the attachments, the unnecessary. It teaches you resilience. It forces you to rely not on external validation, but on the truth that resides within you. When everything around you collapses, when people turn their backs on you, when life tests you beyond your limits, that is when you discover your real strength. That is when you realize that your purpose is not dependent on circumstances, but on the power you carry within. The world wants you to believe that suffering is a sign that you are lost. But the truth is, suffering is often the sign that you are exactly where you need to be. The enemy does not attack those who have no mission. The fire does not burn what is not valuable. If you are experiencing deep struggles, take a step back and look at them differently. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" The moment you shift your perspective, suffering no longer becomes something to escape. It becomes something to embrace, something to use, something to transform you into who you were always meant to be. The breakthrough that comes after endurance. What if I told you that the very thing you are struggling with right now is the final test before your breakthrough? That the exhaustion, the doubt, the feeling of being on the edge of giving up is actually proof that you are on the verge of something greater than you can imagine. This is one of the greatest spiritual truths. Just before the breakthrough, the battle is at its fiercest. Just before the victory, the struggle feels unbearable. This is not a coincidence. This is the pattern of transformation. Chosen ones do not break through by accident. They reach their next level by enduring what others cannot. The final test before elevation is always the hardest. It is the moment when every fear, every insecurity, every weakness tries to convince you that you cannot make it. But this is where the real difference is made, whether you push through or whether you let the weight break you. The enemy wants you to give up now, right when you are closest to the shift that will change everything. Do not fall for the illusion. Look back at every moment in your life when you felt like you couldn't go on, and yet here you are. You made it through things you once thought would destroy you, and now you are being tested again, but not because you are failing. You are being tested because you are about to rise. The struggles you are facing are not random. They are the very things that will lead to your transformation. But you must endure. Breakthrough does not happen when things are easy. It happens when you choose to keep moving forward even when you have every reason to stop. It happens when you refuse to be defined by your pain and instead use it as the fuel to rise higher. It happens when you take the suffering, the rejection, the setbacks, and turn them into your greatest weapon. If you feel like you are at the breaking point, take this as your confirmation. You are not being destroyed. You are being elevated. What is on the other side of this battle is something you have never seen before: clarity, purpose, strength beyond measure. But you will only see it if you refuse to stop now. Keep pushing, keep believing, keep going, because everything you have endured is leading to a moment when it will all make sense. The pain will not last forever, but the transformation it brings will. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Do not give up now. The chosen one's victory is not just for themselves. When a chosen one overcomes hardship, their victory does not belong to them alone. It is a shift in reality, a break in generational cycles, a doorway opened for those who will come after them. What you endure today is not just about you. It is about the ones watching you, the ones learning from your journey, the ones who will find the strength to rise because they saw you refuse to break. The chosen one's breakthrough is never personal. It is always collective. If you come from a family where struggle has been the norm, know this: you were sent to end it. If you were born into an environment of ignorance, limitation, or suffering, understand that your purpose is not just to escape, but to lead. Every step forward that you take is a step forward for those tied to your destiny. When you heal, you make healing possible for others. When you break free from the chains of fear, doubt, and stagnation, you create a pathway for those who will come after you. Your transformation is not an isolated event. It is a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. This is why the enemy fights you so hard. It knows that your rise is not just yours. It is a shift in an entire lineage. It is a break in a system that has kept generations trapped in the same cycles. If you give up, the cycle continues. If you stand firm, you become the one who changes everything. That is why your victory carries weight. But here is what most people do not realize. Sometimes the chosen one is not recognized until after their battle is won. People may not understand you now. They may resist you, mock you, or even turn their backs on you. But one day, the same people who doubted you will look back and realize that your strength, your endurance, and your sacrifices paved the way for something greater than they ever imagined. This is why you cannot give up. You are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for those who are not yet strong enough to fight for themselves. You are breaking barriers for those who do not yet see the way out. You are carrying a light that will shine long after your battle is over. Stand firm in your purpose. Your victory is the key that unlocks doors for generations to come. How to strengthen yourself for the journey. The path of a chosen one is not for the weak. It demands resilience, wisdom, and unwavering faith. The challenges you face are not ordinary, so your preparation cannot be ordinary. If you are going to walk this journey and emerge victorious, you must fortify your mind, protect your spirit, and cultivate a strength that cannot be shaken. First, you must master your mind. Doubt is the greatest weapon the enemy will use against you. If it can make you question your worth, your purpose, or your ability, it has already won half the battle. This is why you must guard your thoughts with discipline. Speak life into yourself daily. Reject every lie that tells you that you are not enough. Train yourself to think like a warrior, because that is what you are. Second, you must protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to you. Some people drain you, confuse you, and distract you from your purpose. Learn to recognize the difference between those who uplift you and those who only take from you. Do not be afraid to walk alone. Isolation is not a punishment. It is a necessary season for elevation. Third, you must develop spiritual endurance. This journey is long, and there will be moments when you feel exhausted, when everything in you wants to quit. But endurance is built in the struggle. The more you push forward, the stronger you become. The key is not to avoid hardship, but to learn how to thrive in it. Prayer, meditation, fasting, whatever connects you to your source of strength, do it consistently. Fourth, you must embrace emotional resilience. People will misunderstand you. Some will betray you. Many will doubt you. This is the reality of being chosen. You must learn to detach from external validation and find your strength within. Do not expect others to always see your vision. They are not supposed to. Your calling was given to you, not them. Finally, you must walk in unwavering faith. Faith is not just believing when things are easy. Faith is standing firm when everything around you is falling apart. It is trusting that even when you cannot see the way, the path is still there. It is refusing to let temporary struggles shake your eternal purpose. When you walk with faith, fear loses its power over you. This journey will test you. It will stretch you. It will push you beyond your limits. But if you strengthen yourself in these ways, there will be nothing that can break you. You are built for this. Walk with the confidence of someone who was chosen for a reason. The ultimate lesson: embracing your destiny with strength. At some point in your journey, you will come to a realization. The suffering was never meant to destroy you. The trials were never a punishment. Everything you have endured was shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the role you were meant to fulfill. When you understand this, everything changes. You no longer see struggles as obstacles, you see them as tools. You stop asking why you had to go through so much pain, and start realizing that every hardship was carving you into the person you were always meant to be. Being chosen is not about living an easy life. It is about being strong enough to carry a purpose that most people would collapse under. It is about becoming the person who walks through fire and comes out on the other side untouched. The world will not make this journey easy for you, but it is not supposed to. Strength is only built through resistance. Diamonds are only formed under pressure. Gold is only purified through fire, and the chosen one is only revealed through struggle. The moment you accept your destiny with strength, everything shifts. You stop seeking approval. You stop waiting for things to get easier. You stop running from challenges. Instead, you embrace them. You walk forward with confidence, knowing that every battle you face is making you stronger. You move with certainty, understanding that your journey is not in vain. You no longer see yourself as a victim of your struggles, but as a warrior being shaped by them. And when the day comes that you step fully into your purpose, when the suffering transforms into wisdom, when the obstacles give way to breakthroughs, you will look back and realize something powerful. None of it was wasted. Every tear, every hardship, every battle was necessary. Every moment of doubt was shaping your faith. Every betrayal was teaching you discernment. Every loss was making room for something greater. So stand tall, walk forward, embrace your destiny with strength. You were never meant to live a life of mediocrity. You were meant to rise, to lead, to break chains, to create change. You were meant to carry light into places of darkness. You were meant to walk through fire and come out as gold. You were meant for something greater. And when you finally step into that greatness, you will understand it was all worth it.